What's up, guys? Welcome back to Golf Simulator Videos, and Happy New Year. We're ringing in the new year with an all-new software update from SkyTrak. This is SkyTrak 5.2, bringing a lot of features to the table. A lot of them that you guys have emailed or commented on videos about suggesting. I share those with SkyTrak. It's cool to see them come to life. Things like on-course practice. Tons of people asked for that. Well, it's here. You also have a lot of settings and different gameplay modes. Gameplay is now going to bring match play to the table, which is really cool. You also have the ability to turn on and off putting, whether it be auto putting or manual putting, so you can select between those. You also have the ability to adjust altitude. A lot of people asked about that. That's for course play and on-course practice. And then now you can turn on and off lie penalties. So it's going to adjust power and spin. So you'll see that. I'll put that in action. We'll go out to rough, sand, things like that and demonstrate it for you guys. Now, before we get going, if you guys are looking to purchase SkyTrak or any golf simulator hardware or software, you can always email me or check out the links and discount codes in the description and pinned to the top of the comments. They help support the channel, but most importantly, get you the lowest price. I always try to do that for all my viewers, and I appreciate you guys supporting the channel too. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to go over and we're going to go to practice. And we're going to go to course play, and we're going to go to play now. I like using my new touchscreen. I'll tell you what, if you haven't seen that touchscreen video, check it out. But I downloaded Quail Hollow, and I'm just going to hit next. We're going to jump out to hole number 4, and we'll bounce around from there. And then here, you have a couple selections. So I can drag this, and my local altitude hovers around 700 to 800, let's say. Or I can hit the box and actually use the box altitude, which is pretty close. So if you guys aren't aware, barometer changes. All right, so depending on what that pressure is, that can change the altitude. Not a crazy amount, but it definitely can vary. So you can see that it was a little below, but I'm just gonna practice at my average altitude, and I can turn on lie penalties. I definitely want to turn those on. You can adjust wind conditions, speed and direction if you want, but we'll leave all that like that. Biggest thing here is lie penalties and showing you guys on-course practice. Quail Hollow as well. I haven't shown that. I've only shown a couple courses in the channel, so it'd be good to demonstrate, some of these different courses. So first thing first, I would suggest selecting your club. That's going to, most importantly, when you're out here practicing, a lot of people want to work on their path and their face to target. That's available now. You can select between a top or a side view if you want to. All right. And then a lot of times when I'm just practicing shots and I'm not doing data focused practice, I'll just hide the data. You don't need it up there. It's just a nice clean view. All right. But you're going to hit this gear icon in the upper left. You're going to click and drag, just left click to whatever tee box you want. All right, and then from there, you can actually, I like separating these because it's hard to select the pin without moving your aim indicator. All right, so you can move the aim indicator, then grab the pin, and it's just a little bit easier. So I'm just gonna kind of move it to like a 145 shot or so. That is a 9-iron. And after that, I'd be good to go. But yes, you can change the aim if you want to, but if you want to change the pin, I might even suggest to them that you right click, and that's where the pin position is. I think that'd be a little better than having to change the aim every time. You guys let me know what you think. But that's what I've found out so far. So I'm gonna grab a 9-iron, and I'm just gonna demonstrate a couple shots for you guys, just normal on-course practice. So my body is not moving right now. I was on vacation, and I haven't swung a golf club in a long time. And let me tell you, I took a couple practice swings, and it's not pretty. So let's show you a bad practice swing. And you'll notice I'm way into out right now. I mean, the ball's been, drawing or pulling. I even closed that face down, so it wasn't even a push draw. It was more of just a pull draw. And I'm coming 6.3 into out with a little bit of a closed face. I mean, what do you expect the ball to do, right? So I've been kind of setting up a little bit left, trying to get my body to, rotate a little bit better and get the club to exit to the left. I don't think that's gonna, it's gonna be less, but I closed the face. So you can see how now it's kind of like a straight pull versus the first one was a draw. It's funny how you can work on these things at an approach shot, but see how I actually came out to in and now I'm snapping the face closed? So let's go ahead and make a little bit of an adjustment here to where I'm not going to snap that face closed, but still move the club left. You're going to see that ball actually have a little bit of a cut to it now, which is what I was trying to do the whole time. Look at that, it's a little bit right of the pin. I'd take that all day. Look at that, it was square and a little bit open. So I really like being able to demonstrate these type of things, because if I was doing some on-course practice, I might not always be looking at every single piece of data, but I can just throw that up there and work on like path and face and things like that. So it's amazing how when you take some time off of golf, at least for me, my body just takes a while to loosen up. I mean, it's unbelievable. So let's go ahead and grab the gear icon. What I want to show you guys is, let's say that you pushed it way over here in the rough. All right. And what is that going to do? Well, it's going to give you anywhere from a 10 to 15% deduction on power, and you're going to lose 25% spin. Now, I did hit just a couple of these really quick. The only thing that I'm a little surprised with is that with low spin, and I'll show you guys the spin after, I was surprised that it's checking up the way it is. So I might provide a little feedback to them. 25% spin, you know, is going to have some rollout to it, but you guys tell me what you think on this. So 22 yards, adding a little bit of power. I hit it, you know, pretty crisp. I tried to cut it. So it rolls out a little bit. So that first bounce is pretty good. But you know, you can see in the data, it's only 3,200 spin. All right, you don't have to select the exact club just so you know it's measuring the ball independently. It's more for data tracking, but only 3,200 spin. I'll leave the data up and we'll actually really try to slice this one. So you can see how that was outside 1.1. Watch this. This will be a kind of a slice cut shot to generate more spin. That's gonna go a little bit right, but that's the point that I was trying to make there is that, so that's 3,800 and it's still checked up quite a bit. Now don't get me wrong, I'm kind of flopping these in the air. So what if I change it up and it's more of like a normal chip shot? And that shouldn't have a lot of spin either. And then it rolls out. So I think that the spin deduction is probably proper. See how low a spin that was? But when you launch the ball up, the physics really allow it to check a lot. So, I mean, I think it's a balance. You'll have to kind of find that. But it is deducting the spin, that's for sure. So let's go ahead and do one more of those where I kind of, you know, kind of almost a bump and run. Oh, that is just a really, really bad. That hit the rough, and you can see it roll out. That was a terrible strike of the ball, so we'll go ahead and try to do that one more time. I mean, did it work out really well? Sure, but I'm not gonna say that it wasn't a terrible strike. That was pretty good. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh man, I almost went in. So, two totally different styles of shots, right? So that spin deduction, you know, is making a much bigger impact on that lower launching shot versus I'll do one more where I kind of flop it up in the air. So that hit the top of my screen. And you can see how I get that ball to stop. So just depends. I mean, a 4,000 spin, only knocking off 25%. But let's go ahead and see what it's going to do out of the bunker. So let's go ahead and grab our gear and move this down here. Let's say we pushed it short, right? It's a 22-yard shot, so it's similar distance, but now it's gonna be the bunker. Well, check this out. Here's what's interesting, and we don't really need the data necessarily, but power 90 to 95, and then 95% spin. I guess we kind of need the data so you guys can compare it. So we have to get this launched up. We have no choice. I mean, it's 6 feet up there. Oh, that was a horrible shot. Just horrible. I actually closed the face down instead of going under it. So let's go ahead. It's going to take me some time to get warmed up after some time off, I'll tell you what. All right, better execution here. It was under the ball. See how launchy it was? And honestly, that's going pretty far. So, I mean, I guess probably maybe it's only taken off 5%. So let's launch it up higher. That was a little pulled, but yeah, you're getting almost normal distance out of the bunker. So that's interesting. I might have to share that with them. I mean, is it a good lie or not? I don't know, but pretty easy to get out of the bunker. I would think, because these are all going to go by. Yeah, see that, Lando? That wasn't bad. Still past the pin, but I was able to get that higher in the air and generate more spin on it. I'll try to do the same thing. I'll try to accelerate even more. Yeah, that should be really good. See where that lands. Yep. So lands and stop, look at that, 53.84. So I accelerated a little more, generated a little more distance, but I can get more spin out of it, and it's stopping. So very interesting. So we'll have to see, let's move the ball around a little bit and see if it changes at all. So let's move it to like, oof, you're just, you know, right on the front of this thing. It's terrible. 90 to 95, so same thing. So I bet you that it's the same anywhere you're at. It doesn't matter. 90, 95, 95. So that's what the green side bunker is. Let's go ahead and change holes, because what I'd like to do, I think there's a hole with like a river. Yeah, this is pretty cool. And look, see how there's this rough? Let's say, I mean, this is a little unrealistic. Like, I doubt you're gonna have this bad of a shot, but hey, it happens. High rough, 70 to 75 and 70% spin. So if I'm losing 25%, I mean, I'm honestly gonna switch to like a 54 degree, I think. That's what rather than swinging super hard at my 58. Let's see how this looks. I swung like a full 54. Oof, it came out of that. It came out of that with some power deduction. Wow. So it says that the carry on that shot was only 60 out of 25%. Trying to do my math here. I would have thought that would have been 100 yards. So it's almost like it's taking off even more than what 25% would be, because this is a 100-yard club. So let me hit one more. I mean, I know I hit that pretty well. That's all I got out of 54. Okay, all right. So that first one I must have not grabbed as much as I thought, because that actually was pretty spot on for what I would have thought. And I wouldn't doubt it if it's, you know, depending on the launch, depending on the spin, it's obviously killing my spin. You know, it's gonna make a big difference. All right, so I'm happy to see that. You just really gotta get after it. You gotta hit it for that number. That was a good swing. That's gonna have more spin to it. Oh, so I wonder if the higher spin, lower launch shot is what's hurting me on those, because that only had 64 carry. This is interesting. It's gonna be a lot, because you guys have seen me hit all my shots on this. I mean, I feel like my distances are actually pretty consistent with the SkyTrak Plus, but this power, and it's variable too. What is it, 70 to 75? That's only 5% though. So that was a different strike. I'm interested to see how far that goes. Yeah, I think that it's really gonna matter. That was carry 60 again. This is wild. I mean, so if I switch to a 50, I mean, I like this penalty. I'm just, you know, wondering what the, see how it says expected distance up there? 150? I wonder what that means, because we don't have wind. And it's only 25%. I'm not doing my math wrong. If it was a 100-yard shot, you'd have to hit it for 125, right? And so maybe that's what their expected distance, 150. I'm gonna have to ask what that is. There's a well-hit 50. Oh yeah, it's just killing your power. I mean, just killing your power. 67 yards with a 50. You guys are going to have to play with live penalties here, because I think that power is even more of a deduction than you realize when you get in this deep rough. I'll have to play with it more too. So you guys have a lot going on here. Altitude, live penalties, manual auto putting, on-course practice, match play. So all kinds of different things you can test out. Let me know what you think in the comments below. This is my first look. All right, I just started using this. This just got released. So check it out for yourself. Let me know what you guys think, and we'll keep messing around at the same time. Want to provide feedback to SkyTrak. Like I said, on that pin movement, I really think it should be kind of like a right click, so you don't have to do two things. Let me know what you think of that. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. Stay tuned. There'll be a lot more coming soon.